Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and we're having a very important and interesting conversation, I might add, with regard to the very latest on the very latest coronavirus developments. Right now, you're tuned into Relaks Radio, and it is your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and you're going to be having a lot of interesting and informative conversation with me because I'm here to keep you company all the way until 9 a.m. All right. So if you want to share your thoughts, if you want to share your opinions, please feel free to go ahead and do that, because all you need to do is just text me or call me on 078-524-73473 and let me know what you are thinking with regard to everything that is happening all over the world and in the United Kingdom as well. All right. Now, something else that you can actually do is to go like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and also to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that is where you can find all of our content, right where it is. All right. All you need to do is just click on one of those videos and check whatever it is that you want to check, and keep yourself informed and updated. All right. It's pretty simple. Now, something else that you can obviously do is also to download our app, because that's available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And if you're someone who wants to stay informed and updated about all of these things, well, then the best way for you to actually do that is by downloading our app. Okay, and that way you can listen in from anywhere you're in the world at any time of the day, and that will absolutely be amazing as well. Okay, and now let's actually head into our conversation, because we're going to be talking about how Pakistan and Turkey might actually be removed off the red list. All right. Now, Turkey has actually said that it expects to be removed from the UK's travel red list within days, and this is as ministers actually prepare to update the traffic light system for the final time this summer. All right. Now, this traffic light system is definitely something that has that the government has been criticized for a lot, because first, it was complicated, and secondly, they were changing it up so many times. It was so hard to keep yourself on track, right? Because you had the red list, then you had another list within the red list, which were basically basically countries that you could consider to move to the red list, right? These were countries that already had quite terrible conditions when it came to dealing with COVID, but they could possibly change. So that means that they could have possibly gone to that red list. All right. And then secondly, you have the amber list and the amber plus list, where you basically had countries that were at the risk of returning to the red list, right? And then you had the green list, and then you had another list within the green list of countries that had the possibility of going into the amber list, right? So that was really confusing, and there were so many changes that were happening throughout the time period that it was in place, until they finally decided, look, you know what, we can't keep changing like this, and we sort of need to make it less complicated and less confusing, because if anything, what we've seen from Boris Johnson's government is this lack of clarity, right? There are so many times where they've said things, then they've sort of said they didn't say it, or that's not what they meant. And there has been an appalling lack of clarity when it came to the Johnson government. Right now, like I said, Turkey actually stated that it expects to be removed off the UK's travel red list within days, because ministers are actually trying to update they're getting ready to update the traffic light system for the final time this summer. Okay, now, obviously, before changes are due to be signed off by the government on Thursday, there is also, pressure for restrictions to be eased on passengers who are arriving from Pakistan. All right. So basically, this is because, of all of the changes that have taken place. And the truth is, a lot of these countries have managed to get their populations vaccinated, have managed to get their people vaccinated. So it means that these people are actually really, really safe to come to the United Kingdom. Right now, before changes are due to be signed off by the government on Thursday, there's also pressure for restrictions to be eased on passengers who are arriving from Pakistan. All right. Now, a senior White House sources actually downplayed any suggestion of a drastic overhaul, indicating that the announcement is not likely to affect as many holiday makers as previous reviews. Okay, and after quarantine rules were relaxed last month, where it basically allowed fully vaccinated travelers returning from amber-list countries to avoid self-isolating. Attention is in fact particularly focused on the red list, right, which basically has about 60 countries on it, and only British residents and nationals are allowed to travel from these countries to the United Kingdom. And when they do travel, they actually have to stay in a hotel for 11 nights on their arrival at a starting price of £2,285 per adult, right? Now, basically, that is what it is. Now, Turkey and Pakistan are in fact among the red list countries that are hoping to be moved on to the amber list, which basically would mean all passengers would be allowed into the United Kingdom again as long as they test negative for COVID before traveling. All right, so that is what the discussion is. Now, make sure to stay tuned because we're actually going to head into a small break now. And after that, we will be back to discuss this further. So until then, make sure you stay tuned.
Are you looking to achieve the most relevant qualification to kickstart your career? Then reward yourself with the best globally recognized professional business qualification, CIMA. Irrespective of the field you aspire to succeed in, a CIMA qualification can add immense value to your resume and professional life. Succeed in your CIMA journey with supportive tuition provided by qualified lecturers and resources. Nanaska is the leading registered CIMA tuition provider in Sri Lanka with over a decade in the industry and hundreds of success stories. With qualified and certified tutors, Nanaska now provides easy access 100% virtual classes so that you could succeed at your exams and in life right from the comfort of your home. At Nanaska, it's not just about a qualification. We help you think out of the box and build a personality. Exciting offers also await students overseas. Enroll now. Call +94 77 499 7338 or visit www.nanaska.com. Commence your CIMA journey at Nanaska and become a globally recognized leader. Nanaska, smile with results.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio, and I am super excited to be here because we're having a very important and interesting conversation, I might add, with regard to the very latest, with regard to everything that is happening all over the United Kingdom, with regard to all of the latest news that is happening, right? So if you're someone who wants to stay updated, if you're someone who wants to be informed about all of these things, well, the best way for you to actually do that is by being a part of the show. All right, because pretty much all you need to do is to download our app, because that's available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and that way you can actually listen in while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. And while you're at it, also something else that you can do is to go check out our socials. All right, now you can actually like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and actually make sure that you're always informed and you're always updated about all of these things just by following us on our socials. So go like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and obviously don't be shy to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, because that way you can actually make sure that you're always informed about all of these things. So definitely make sure you do go check that out, and don't forget to actually text me or call me on 078-52-473-473. That way you can actually be a part of this show, share your thoughts, share your opinions with me, and let me know what you are thinking. All right, so obviously make sure to let me know what your thoughts and opinions are, and let me know how you feel about the latest changes that are happening, not just in the United Kingdom, but in fact all over the world as well. Okay, and now let's actually get into something else that I want to talk about, because business leaders are actually calling for the relaxation of visa rules. All right, so to actually put that very simply, let's talk about how Brexit pretty much changed the way that all of these companies function, because yesterday we were talking about how there are labor shortages and even staff shortages and even supply shortages with regard to a lot of these companies here in the United Kingdom, right? And these are companies that more often than not, a lot of these companies tend to be food firms, right? And the truth is, because these are food firms, and especially it doesn't matter if it's a pandemic or not, people want food, right? People will always eat regardless of what the situation is, right? And the truth is, because even during the pandemic, there was still a lot of online delivery that happened, right? Places like McDonald's, places like Nando's, KFC, these are shops that people go to all the time. Like, that's some people's go-to places because A, it's convenient, B, it's super cheap, and 3, it's really fast, right? It's pretty much food. But the truth is, a lot of these companies were in fact having a lot of food shortages, right? And essentially to basically, deal with all of that, the government is actually under pressure right now to relax post-Brexit migration rules, basically to unblock Britain's worst supply chain crisis that is happening right now. And this is since the 1970s, right? Since the 1970s, if you compare the time period after 1970s to the time period right now, the supply chain crisis that we're having right now happens to be the absolute worst, right? And business leaders are actually warning that continued disruption could actually ruin Christmas, right? And the truth is, look, Christmas was ruined for us last year as well. All right, we don't want it to be ruined again this time. So obviously, then you're going to try and make sure that you have to make sure that these people have enough laborers, have enough staff to actually help with this supply chain crisis, right? Now, industry bosses have actually said that urgent changes to the visa system were in fact required because retailers struggle or they are struggling right now to keep the shelves stocked, and restaurants have even run out of food and drink in the meltdown that was obviously triggered by A, COVID, and B, Brexit, right? Obviously, with COVID, these companies have been functioning at a loss as well. It's not like these companies are functioning any better than a lot of the other companies out there, right? Sure, people order food a lot, but obviously the amount of people that come to the shops and eat versus the amount of people that order online have drastically changed, right? Now, industry estimates actually put the shortage of workers needed to drive lorries, handle goods in warehouses, and pick fruit and vegetables at hundreds of thousands. Okay, so company bosses and even trade groups are in fact now warning that if ministers refuse to allow more EU workers into the United Kingdom, they risk a deeper crisis this winter. All right, so that is what the conversation is about. Now, make sure to stay tuned because we're going to be heading into a small break, and after that, we will be back to discuss this further. So until then, make sure that you stay tuned.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you, and that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I need? Yeah.